You know, flight boss in this motherfucker, baby. Getting on some sugar-free, 100% RDA, vitamin C. You know that candy that you spray in your mouth. Yeah. You gotta keep this guy smoking, man. You know, this come in handy. Goddamn. Girl, we be fucking around. And you know she fucking with you. You know they coming like a lady every time I tell. She said, oh yeah, I'm coming with you. Well, I'm coming, man, you gotta leave, don't get down. Girl, why you gotta act like that? On the streets, I'm trying to get you a dog. Girl, you text me right back. Girl, she fucking with you. You know that coming like a lady every time I tell. She said, oh yeah, I'm coming with you. Well, I'm coming, man, you gotta leave, don't get down. Girl, why you gotta act like that? On the streets, I'm trying to get you a dog. Girl, you text me right back. Yeah, won't you take me back? Yeah, where you going? Yeah, where you jetting at, girl? Goddamn, I'm getting thirsty. Matter of fact, I'm dehydrated, and I hit it when it's early. Rolling land in my spaceship, I'm the new Michael Jackson. Yeah. You can see it on the passing. Yeah. I don't know why they hit it up. Compare me to Superman, but don't keep it wrong. Yeah, fight boss, I'm creating jobs. If you ain't up on your shit, I'ma lay you up. Yeah, first base, now we playing ball. In life, you the only one that can make it hard. So don't be blaming nobody when you ain't make it, dog. The Pilotman in the sky, you see him taking off. Spring, winter, summer, and fall. You see him never touching the ground. DoelowDaPilotman, goddamn, your girl, she in love with me now. Girl, really fucking around. She know she ain't fucking with you. Tryna coming like a lady every time I town. She said, oh yeah, I'm coming with you. Well, the Pilotman gotta leave, go get down. Girl, why you gotta act like that? When the spring, summer, fall, and get you a bar. Girl, I hope you text me right back. No, she ain't fucking with you. We on that coming like a lady every time I town. She said, oh yeah, I'm coming with you. Well, I'm coming. Girl, why you gotta act like that? When the spring, summer, fall, I get you a bar. Girl, I hope you text me right back. I know I'm connected with you. Go fly in my jet for a few. Goddamn, motherfucker. Goddamn, but I send a few texts to you. Girls, I see perfection in you. Yeah, girl, you got me moonwalking, backtracking, but I only do it like that. Like all the bullshit talking, I'm laughing, but I might just connect with you. She ain't fucking with you. But I come like a lady every time I tell. She said, oh yeah, I'm coming with you. Well, I'm coming, man, you gotta leave, go get down. Girl, why you gotta act like that? When the spring, summer, fall, to get you a walk. Girl, I hope you text me right back. Girl, really fucking around. And you know she ain't fucking with you. Coming like a lady every time I tell. She said, oh yeah, I'm coming with you. All the man gotta leave, don't get down, girl, why you gotta act like that? When the spring, summer, fall, to get you a ball, girl, I hope you text me right back. I'm a phone home. I'm a phone home. Over that. Over that. Now we in the 21st century. You know what I'm saying? I ain't want to stop somewhere in the 1800s or something like. You know what I'm saying? I was there like, well, 1200s and 1300s. No one was keeping time and track like that. Gregorian calendar ain't one around. Pardon me. 1200s, 1300s, 1400s.
All I'm saying, because when you peel back all the layer points of dates and stuff like that, man, whoever was ruling, I mean, it was just their birthday or something like that, and somebody started calendars over a government system over somebody. Probably had a holiday based on their birthday, a flight day, or whatever. And then shit, then that's a calendar. Other than that, the son ain't give a fuck about that smack money. Well, I'm saying, give a fuck about homie. Money, cheese, and shit like that, and flunk that ass. Oh, I ain't give a fuck about that human. I'm gonna tell you that right now. The son ain't give a fuck about that human. Yeah, ho ain't give a fuck about that human, and probably seen that 1,000 times already and shit. Like, let's do they shit. Let's do they doing nothing new and shit. Oh, that's shit. Oh, that's how the son be looking at us. What's kind of doing nothing new? I'm saying real shit. Y'all be thinking everything started in 1948. I'm saying, like, well, who made that up? I'm saying, who did that ain't nothing new. So you gotta keep the holy time. Keep the holy time. We're gonna talk all about it. We're gonna talk all about it. Also, talking about the goddamn new moon. New moon gonna be sharing the energies between Leo and Virgo. So it's for everybody to know how it's gonna affect in your house system. Your house is just each area of your body if you want to talk about it anatomy wise. Talk about it meaning wise, it's the astrological houses, how to link in your outside water for you don't be hydrated or dehydrated with your internal body, your water, your anatomy. So once you go a step further, you see less dense versions of what you are playing out in different mathematical positions. You're supposed to have a broader mind, be in a broader spirit to be able to understand that through the filtering system of your anatomy. Then when we take it to the astrology, you understand the mama's bosom. You know what I'm saying? You understanding where your walking egg cell piece of shit came from and shit like that. That's what you really understand. CB4 shit. I'm saying you with Chris Rock and them. You the actor. You plan out something where your New Year resolution start in the middle of winter and shit. I don't know that. The beginning of the winter and shit. Other than that, gay. So when we're just talking about these energies itself, each magnitude plays out as a formation, and it's just understanding the formation of it itself to play that out in your life. And this is whatever that we call in characteristics. And if your characteristics in sync with the outside layers and stuff like that, you know, that's mama's bosom and stuff like that. So you're supposed to go beyond just you looking at water outside of your own mathematical anatomy of it and be able to put yourself in a position where even if you don't have to drink some one day because that's not enough and you have a child, all the way to understanding too when you may be in a situation of destroying the water and that's part of the thing that you need. So there's no way to make a GMO version of it, so stop playing with it or whatever the case may be. But you're supposed to have a broader mind because you know water condensing is coming from a lighter stage of it, us seeing it evaporate. So this takes us into the higher natures, separating, becoming the Holy Ghost from the lower natures, but they're one union as one condensing to the other, not one being here and turning into the less dense layer. And that's getting retarded. So for the most part, that allows us to separate from even what hydrates us from an outer physical perspective and even the mental perspective, the atmosphere and the sun and the moon transits in each pocket of it. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that type of order play out in a larger scale, macro, than the order that play on a smaller scale, micro, water condensing before it evaporate, and you needing to hydrate yourself when you become thirsty. Now, you can become spiritually thirsty when you're over a mental form that you may not have, and you lack, and you in search for it, regardless of how it play out through the third dimension, through the filtering system of a person, place, or thing. You're spiritually dusty. You see what I'm saying? You're spiritually poor. You're spiritually broke. You spiritually thirsty. You see what I'm saying? And you probably got you paid your water bill. You know what I'm saying? You got a pool in your backyard. I mean, you ain't at no low access to the physical water and shit like that. Eventually, you'll over abuse that too, though, and shit like that. It'll be a lot of water you around. You can't drink either. You'll find yourself having to pay taxes and a bottle of water, smart water again, and then you still ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? You still ain't shit. Well, somebody sold you good color silhouette pattern tag, slapped it next to the barcode on some goddamn bottle of water. Who knows that ain't even more effective than the damn water that you got to do. Boil everything. I don't give a fuck. Boil everything. Any water you get. Boil it. You pay the electricity bill, right? Stick that shit in the refrigerator. You good to go. You good to go in this bitch. You know what I'm saying? Boil every fucking thing. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, just talking about the moon cycle itself. And then, you know, before we even get into that, anatomy, astrology, mother's bosom, or anything outside of you, just making it make more sense comparing it to water. But there's a lot of less dense layers, all the way to the point that, you know, animals lack comprehension, even certain layers of organs and development. So these are all same representations of things condensing and becoming heavy, but things has its layer and its pattern and its representation and its actions and responses. Then you go to the timing of these things, astronomy, right? Or father's breath, or the atmosphere before it condensed. So we're all in this space as individual spaces. So it's multiple of us, spirits, and you have an individual version, your own space, a soul. Then we develop awareness, and that awareness is teamwork makes the dream work, and we all got our own piece of it. So macro, it becomes the whole atmosphere. Micro, it become our piece of that bubble, being in our own mind. Now we get to take the transitions, 1, 2, 3, 4, that we give attributes and meanings and words to it, like fire, water, air, and earth. You know what I'm saying? Then it condenses as teamwork makes the dream work on a macro scale, spring, summer, fall, winter. You see what I'm saying? But we're just seeing something get emitted, spring, the first condensity, summer, water. So flame, vision, second condensity, water. Then for the most part, it plays out into air, cooled off spot. Then it's able to structure itself as a form, volume, velocity, or mass, whether it's a construct, an impactful thought and feeling and emotion, or some actual actions that impact others that still come from that first transit first, if you understand that and you're a true spirit. See what I'm saying? So you understand it from that aspect, and then let you know that, okay, we're on the same cycle. So reincarnation may be a faulty way of even looking at it, but there is a washing machine cycle, and there is an actual way of doing it, and things of that nature. And as keeping track of these things allows you to know that your spirit create ethers. Your spirit ain't ether, it create ethers. And ethers is your own individual snowflake, blade of sand, a grass, particle, rock, marble, or piece of bubble of the water, and things of that nature. Your own water particle, everybody you meet, and things of that nature. So when you mix up your own unique spiritual space awareness with your soul, that's you developing your mind. And we all got soul spirits. That's this multiple version of saying what we have an individual version of, a soul. And if you want to look at it from an equilibrium perspective, you got a space, I got a space, and everybody don't live in your space. But micro, macro, you got things living within your space that got to form, blood cells, lungs, hearts, kidneys, and things of that nature. And you're within inside Yehovah, and there's a holy, holy world, and then there's an absolute world. So we're in the third world, holy, holy world, where mental forms condense and become the physical. So the mental forms, if it's less dense, it's light and weight, not photons. So it's letting you know, holy ones, replace the word holy with light. The light ones, spirits that take the lighter forms of the bodies. This could be your ancestors, and this what you was, the condense here. And for the most part, you're just borrowing the land, right, from your children or anyone that's younger than you. So for the most part, the children are the ancestors, and then for the most part, the ancestors just borrowing time until they become the next ancestor, the actual children, not the elder. You see what I'm saying? So this is a cycle system where the elders have something peacefully to go into, and the kids actually play the role and position the hierarchy the way it's supposed to be. Now, when we start to think about the concept itself, developing an ether. Ether is just when you make your own snowflake, right? You put your own blade of grass together. You make your own crystal and gem and furnace it. So that's you putting your percentage scale of fire, your percentage scale of water, your percentage scale of air, your percentage scale of earth, and then you pick that pocket of time as a snapshot frequency. Then you develop more while you inside of it. It start to vibrate. Now it then become an energy. It can be that walking snapshot moving through other things. And when you pick a particular time of frequency, father's breath, 7th, 8th, and 9th dimension, 4th, 5th, and 6th dimension, mother's bosom before it's condensed, and then the 1, 2, and 3rd dimension, when both of these forms, masculine and feminine, gets condensed and physical forms could be born as children and things of that nature, then that snapshot could represent your astrological chart at this point. You see what I'm saying? But for the most part, you have many different astrological photoshops that you took to play out certain characters as your puzzle piece through these times of these washing machine cycles. So you've been many different human forms, many different animal forms, many different bug forms for you to have the level of comprehension spiritually to separate from the previous minds and bodies, but spiritually expand and contract to make another mind and body that still have the same pulse, that have previous experiences that could be developed and future experiences based upon those previous experiences, lessons being learned. And then for the most part, that's how you expand and make more layer systems and be a tougher mental or physical or comprehended individual, even if you're sharing the spiritual root race that you're with, because you all didn't evolve into another species yet. And if you're a human, you're getting ready to be at most DAP if you make it. You know what I'm saying? If you don't make it, And being an Atmos DAP, it can even be another form of this new human that we are experiencing, like me, which is this an old thing? Dinosaurs is back, updated, right? We're in the space age, but at the same time, it's put you into a situation of where the spirit is always going to the areas as a cycle, washing machine cycle that we was previously, just with more awareness. So more awareness is mental forms, more condensity create more organs, and more organs is more layer systems, and that represent the mathematics of a new species. So that's how we're developing new species also and things of that nature. So your level of intelligence as comprehensions condense as thoughts and feelings that condense as fleshly fluids and organs that condense as the new representation that slowly but surely all that spiritual root race become the new indigenous of that new organ and new atmosphere that you're going to be able to cultivate and be able to train whatever lesser of a form or food chain than you. Same way you're a human right now, and an atmosphere at most DAP could train you, but you can't train a spiritual being. And at most DAP, your ancestor and where you just came from being a smaller spirit, so you're not developing that level of awareness to be more broad yet. But you being a human, you're a smaller representation of that. You could train an animal, but an animal can't train you. So it's telling you how you're developing organs and become a new species. Tension span. Tension span develops as lifespans. And tension span come from the spirit being nothing and creating awareness, which is something. And then once that awareness, something becomes an organ, it play out that form. Then once you expand out of it, the body go into the physical realm, one to a third dimension, and the mind go into the spiritual world, fourth, fifth, and sixth dimension. AKA the mind is in the atmosphere, like a thought and an idea, and the physical form end up being in the dirt or whatever the case may be. And the spirit that expanded and contracted, if you learned all the form you was inside of, that information, that mind and body that you inflamed out of with inflammation once it's got retired or deterioration, then you get to make a similar version that's better. So you have previous awarenesses you may start developing to help you engineer this new expansion. You didn't go nowhere. Your spirit just grew up. It got bigger in size. So your awareness going to construct a more mathematical, sufficient, aka comprehension mind than organ, whether it's bigger or smaller, velocity, volume, and mass-wise, when it comes into the 1, 2, and 3rd dimension. Both parties, the mind and the body, will play out higher or broader to represent the spirit and the comprehension that is developed with that mind and body to be able to train the lesser thing, but the thing can't train you. See what I'm saying? There ain't no other way to look at life. I'm trying the best I can to give it to y'all in this English shit. I'm trying the best I can. You know what I'm saying? So everything that people may get wrong, you think you're doing the right thing and you still may be doing it wrong. And just because you got information on it, your justification and the bias around it, automatically both parties of it may be wrong. You know what I'm saying? You still at the house party, whether you knew how to dance or didn't know how to dance. You only people who know who was at the house party, because I don't. So if you talk about you fighting demons and you was in hell and shit like that, because you in hell also. You ain't somewhere in heaven worrying about what's going on around the corner in hell, whatever the case may be. You fighting demons, you know all the demons there because you at the house party. You know what I'm saying? Real shit. You the one there, so you gonna see the demons dancing and shit like that. I wasn't there, so I wasn't seeing demons. I wasn't fighting no demons, and I got all kind of boundaries. Esoteric goddamn Native American vampire slayer. For that, got esoteric blood salt everywhere. Only time you see me fighting demons, they in my space. Other than that, they stay the fuck away. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, goddamn it, demon, get the fuck away. Oh, that's it. And that's spiritual strength. It play out in reverse in the 1, 2, and 3rd dimension. You might be the physical person, have to go upside somebody's head too, and shit, or punch them in the nuts. That's how I play. You fight over your motherfucking peace. A piece of that space that we all in, and Yehoah and shit like that. And that's how Yehoah wanted and shit like that. And if there ain't nobody getting down with that in the physical world, shit just might look like you doing something else that people just don't understand. The spirit backing you, though, motherfuckers gonna be able to make some sense out of it and be like, shit, that shit justified. And if I was in the same situation, I'd do the same. And that's it. And that's it. Anytime you just doing that relatable, synchronizing energy, you good to go. You ain't gotta worry about nothing. God behind you. And you always gonna be able to come back and be like, I'm back. This is how you do it. And don't do it this way, how I did it last time. And there's always gonna be a bunch of people saying, you ain't back. I don't believe that. I don't believe this and this, that, and the third. But whatever they're going through, you the only representation for them to understand it a little bit. So just leave them there. You know what I'm saying? And eventually, slowly but surely, everybody be on one path, and we become Atmos DAPs in this motherfucking shit. You could be a yay Atmos DA. 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 We all come together in that goddamn Omnicia council on that motherfucking shit. And we all Atmos DAPs. And that's it. We with the holy ones and shit. You know what I'm saying? So we orchestrate and we in on the next environment. We in on the next atmosphere. Look at atmosphere as thought. Look at environment as a collection of thoughts becoming feelings, becoming emotions, and becoming fleshly fluids. Teamwork makes the dream work. Atmosphere condensing to become the sun, becoming the clouds, and then us, and then the water, the air and the water, and then the earth, and us rotating to the left based upon that spiritual cycle, and then us seeing the reflection of the same emanation in its lighter form, the moon. So the lighter forms is going to take the shape and form of the heavier object, the atmosphere. And when the atmosphere condense, it makes the next broadest object, the sun. And then when you're facing away from it, you can see the reflection of the atmosphere, the moon. So the sun is the shape and the form, the smaller form, like a rainbow on a micro scale of the atmosphere. And then when we see the reflection facing away from the sun of everything in the atmosphere, we get the same thing, the moon, the satellite. You know what I'm saying? The motherboard, how you program the mother chip. So the moon is the movie, the moods, the feeling, right? But how it looks is the sun. So we're going to have many different feelings, many different seconds, many different minutes, many different moon cycles when the sun looked like one specific thing for 30 days or 31 days or 32 days, depending on what month we're going through or shit like that. So we're calculating the leap year, and the Friday is the 13th, so we don't get lost based upon all of our ancient practices on all continents. We all have some circumstance like this, I will hope. You know what I'm saying? And so we don't get behind time and we stay up to date and we're able to tell the future, but in the way of knowing what that means, not divination, not actually telling the future, just understanding the program, the manuscript, and it's inevitable for that. For an example, that's just a lighter way of explaining, when you plant a seed, it's going to grow. See what I'm saying? So when you understand, oh, okay, something outside of the way this seed is planned, play out in this way in a lesser mathematical precision or a heavier mathematical volume, mass, and velocity position. But if it's part of that pocket family, it does that same type of thing. See what I'm saying? So you got to look at it like that. Seeds is part of in the physical world, is part of the pocket family of planting ideas. And the fourth, fifth, and sixth dimension. Just fourth, emanating, fifth, reacting to what you just emanating, and sixth dimension. You trying to collect that and put that together. So it becomes an imagination that we're demonizing and calling Lucifer or the demon, or you being in your own light, or if it's negative, it's you being in your bias or your ego. But it took a masculine, a thought form, an idea, Adam, aka fourth dimension, to develop another one so it don't go through a Cain and Abel and things of that nature, which is actually Native Americans. But that was in the military shit fighting. But for the most part, so it don't get double-sided and it goes in this one direction. So that's a collection of thoughts or two things. And when it's one opposite, not the same, it create harmonious, not harmful, that take you into the five. So 1, 4, and 7, masculine. That's why you see sticks. 2, 5, and 8, feminine. That's why then in curves and things of that nature. And 3, 6, 9 is androgynous. So you could break these things up because they're really just different macro, micro, 3 dimension forms of 0. Where 1 and 2 come out of, and things of that nature. So when you got a collection of emotions and stuff like that, right now it starts to become an imagery. Right now you could imagine being at the beach and walking to the water. Right now, if you get lost in that, I might have to wake your ass up. Hey, we got to get this song done. Get the fuck out your daydream. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. That, Lord, you're already in your ego before we play it out in business tactics, white collar, blue collar businesses, and rob all each other blind and shit like that, and cutthroat for no reason and shit, and the Burger King destroy Taco Bell and McDonald's. You know what I'm saying? Like, before it even get into that. Boom, you got to understand what that looked like. First, get out of that. If you went into that world, fourth dimension, where I could be at? I want to be somewhere sunny. I'm at a beach. Boom, what if this beach had water? You went from the fourth dimension to the fifth dimension. Your frequency picture just turned into a motion picture. Now you might get lost to it. I want to go to the water and drink. Man, did you pull a creative idea out of it? Is you about to make a song about, man, I just drunk some holy water? Or you just about to be there and I got to wake you up and be like, man, get the fuck out your daydream. Which one? Bitch, that's fourth, fifth, and sixth dimension. It ain't about nothing else. Because I got to wake your ass up with my individual version in the body, one dimension, relate to you, us sharing this space, be dual, my 2 dimension, with your individuality for you to realize and react to me with your dual, and by default that makes us being in the surrounding. 3rd dimension, I'm just might be more a little bit more intelligent in there because my spaceship, aka 4th, 5th, and 6th dimension, went way further than you. Oh, I'm saying you somewhere stuck in a hut, so it play out in a 1, 2, and 3rd dimension. You got writer's block. You ain't pulling no bars out of that beach going to the water drinking. You ain't pulling no rap bars out of it and shit. Get the fuck out the studio. You wasting goddamn studio time money. How better than that? You butt muncher. I gotta use the rest of it real quick, y'all. And then we're going to get into the shit. Now, before we get into the knowledge of the first gods and shit, let's run down the house system real quick for your own personal motherboard chip and things of that nature, if you want to look at it within this aspect. Right now, the new moon going to be affecting the houses of Leo and Virgo. So for the most part, where you got Leo at, that's where you're going to have this new expression. And where Virgo at, that house specifically, that's where you're going to have that energy of what you need to start to focus on based upon what you're developing from the Leo house. So you're going to start to focus on expressing something and then start analyzing how to get it done. Start working towards it. And anything that you were expressing that now you're going to see it in that Leo house, you're going to start to counterpartmentalize what's worth expressing and what made you look like a fool and what actually can be worth setting the stage for, so you can stop getting hit upside the head with water bottles like Busy Bone threw at 3-6 Mafia and shit like that. You can start getting flowers thrown at you and shit on the stage and shit in your mind. Hopefully it's a good stage. It might be something you ruin the first time, first impression, everything. Understand the Leo quality. The first movie, first show, first pilot, all puns intended, will be, if it's trash, you ain't got to worry about me showing back up until your goddamn As the World Turns in hip hop and shit. You ain't got to worry about it. Real shit. You ain't got to worry about it. And y'all to rock everybody to sleep. Oh, I can get about 10 bottles of Hennessy. I get one little cup at the concert and shit. $92.98. What you think, y'all old dog from Minister Society? Oh, y'all saying that stuff. Real stuff. You just be wanting to enjoy the vibe or something like that. You might go somewhere. You got people with you. You might got a female with you if you're a man or whatever the case may be. You don't even really drink like that, but for occasions like that, everybody just doing that. You just want to feel the vibe and feel a part and shit like that. They know how to rock you to sleep when you're in the middle of them thought patterns. They sure know how to rock you to sleep. They show the whole steak hoagies, hot dogs there. Shit, hot dog there. You could buy like 15 packs of hot dogs for a family reunion and shit like that. Shit, not no baseball game or no shit. I don't know where that was shit. Shit, you know what I'm saying? You get ready to spend a whole damn months of groceries on goddamn one goddamn hot dog, steak hoagie and shit like that with relish sauce. I'm telling you right now. Real shit like rock everybody to sleep. They don't give a fuck. 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 They don't be giving a fuck. Now, look, check this out though, right? Before we get into the knowledge of the first gods. Now, let's say if you got Leo in the first house and you got Virgo in the second house. Now, you may have this new esoteric arousement into expressing your personality, personal issues, personal affairs, and separating from the ones that you may not look at as worth it anymore or setting you in a bad light and is all the attention for the wrong reasons. But now, in the second house, it's going to be affected on how can you make that a value? You may worry, Virgo, about how to make that a value, substantiate it. Can it be a creative gift, a talent? Can it be something that others value and y'all can share that energy? You got something for them to value, they got some, and you got something for them to value from you, and everybody building up their creativity or whatever. Or if it's something that you're doing solo, however the case it may be, right? But this personal expression is going to be analyzed and constructed, and it may be something that you're worrying about at this time too, because you're trying to get this new anchoring of energy going. And depending on how much you have accumulated, how many moons you behind and energies behind, there's going to be all the people, places, and things in your situations that it filtered through to make you have to second question or to make you have to overdo something that you know these people may not be comfortable with, or however the case may be. And depending on how strong or how will you is to go forward with it, and it's going to be for all the houses, just going to be the overall narrative for it, just in everybody's personal life. However far you go with it and things of that nature is going to show how much spiritual resilience you got and how much you're willing to go to your future, or how much you just weak as a spirit and you really want to be complacent and you rather feel more comfortable than making a situation that's better for you and develop that comfortability. And you'll never find comfortability without being at the starting point of uncomfortability, and you'll never be at the familiarity point B, point C system without experiencing the unfamiliar energy at point A. So before something becomes familiar, you have to get into unfamiliar things. Before something become comfortable, you have to get into uncomfortable things. And if you could keep that polarized balance on a small percentage scale, you don't have to manifest extremities that you ain't got no choice but to deal with because you've been running away too long and your dragon head gonna run into your goddamn snake tail, and you wasn't running away from your problems. You was just trying to sweep them up under the rug. You see what I'm saying? You wasn't being wise as the goddamn dove, and I mean wise as the serpent and gentle as the damn dove. You were trying to pick one or the other. You was like, I'm gonna be gentle as a dove and got taken advantage of. I'm gonna be wise as the serpent and spot you was lying and shit. Saying you gotta just know how to be wise as the damn serpent. Shit, I know it's possibilities that I'm around other motherfucking snakes, and be gentle as a dove in this motherfucking shit. But I'm a good person. If a motherfucker make me fight fire with fire, that's when they gonna get. And other than that, shit, will never get bullied in high school. You know what I'm saying? You unfuckwinnable. Just to make that as an example of things of that nature, right? Now, let's say you got Leo in the second house, right? Virgo going to be in the third house. So you may find yourself wanting to express these values, these new values, things you have to offer to the world, these things you just picked up that's going to play out like gifts, talents that make you feel good doing it, even if nobody else see it as a gift and talent. May just be a hobby, right? Pardon me. And going to be kind of compartmentalizing which may not necessarily be there anymore, that's not needed. Right? And you've just been upholding something and you ain't even getting that same value back from that person, place, or thing. And it's something that ain't even creative in the first place. Not even a relationship wise. You're going to be looking in the third house, that Virgo third house, and trying to analyze what can you do in your environment or your surroundings, even things that you're worrying about due to the fact of getting unwarranted attention for the things that you value, or you giving the wrong attention to the wrong values that's playing out and the things you're about to start worrying about. Your friends, things in your surroundings, your environment, and do these individuals match that or not, or whatever the case may be, and do you need to separate from that? So that's what's going to be playing out when it comes to your second house. Third house is going to be in a situation where you're going to try to express yourself amongst your environment a little bit more. You know what I'm saying? You might feel this energy of trying to be a goddamn local activist or something like that, and go get your punk ass a bullhorn or however the case may be, and want to fake protest. But you probably never felt like that before, but it might be a time you might feel like that because Leo wants you to express something and be getting intention, and something that got to do with your environment, your surroundings, or just your friends. And now you some type of spirit warrior for your friends. Hey, we need to start making the songs and stop talking about it. You know what I'm saying? We need to start actually getting a concession stand table and stop talking about it like you might be that person or something like that. Yeah, let's go up the street. Let's stand in front of the corner store and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Let's try to sell more oils than a damn Arab inside and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Some shit like that. And now you the spokesperson and shit, spokeswoman and shit. You know what I'm saying? Get your little scarves and shit like that sold in there and shit like that. Like, man, fuck that China bitch. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all the Asians and Arab though. But you might be in that spirit though, no matter what ethnicity you is. You might be an Asian that ain't even in that position. That ain't your family, but you stay up the street. You're like, I'm about to go stand in front of there and shit. Or shit, I'm about to get on Facebook and show everybody I'm the best nail painter in the goddamn neighborhood and shit like that. Take all the goddamn other Asians and shit and tell everybody where I live at and shit like that. Or this little place I'm at that we do it at with my homegirls and shit. However the case may be. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna get in that energy though. You're gonna get in that energy and shit. Then you're gonna start worrying about how can you analyze or construct that. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to fourth house, home, family, security, privacy. You know what I'm saying? That might be things that you're dealing with. You know, some people might be in situations where they got enough people around them or family around them that it could be a comfortable manifested into normal thing that your actual residence or whatever the case may be could be utilized for these things. Or you might be in a type of situation where you don't want those things to combine, but you got your 1-2 together, or you're dealing with other individuals that you can go get a subsidiary building or some shit like that and just start to get that going. So you right across the street from the Asian or the Arab and shit like that. Be like, I got my oils. You know what I'm saying? If you're a man, or I got my, we got press on nails too, and we got scarves and all that shit if you're a female, whatever the case may be. You know what I'm saying? Because ain't nothing to put y'all hands together, buy a little knitting machine, or get a man like me. If you willing to do it, I get your ass a knitting machine and shit like that, and get your ass to work so we can make some motherfucking money. Well, that's what re-up look like in this motherfucking shit. That's what investment look like. And you got to know something. You just can't be like, especially if you're a red pill man, y'all don't be thinking right. And you got to come at females like that. You just can't be shit like, I'm me. And what the fuck can you do? And we about to invest and shit like that. I ain't investing in somebody who just think I'm me. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever. I'm me. I'm pretty sure everybody else think that in their mind too. All right, what we about to do with I'm me and you and shit, I'm us and shit like that, bitch. I said real shit. If you got some shit to put together, you work your hands real good and shit. You show me you know how to draw, whatever the case may be. That look like that need a stitch machine. Y'all said that look like that need a press machine or whatever. Now I go out in the world, work my hands, work whatever I do my communications or whatever, because I know it don't got shit to do with my looks. It ain't got shit to do with I'm me or nothing like that as a man, and I'm gonna be shamed if I'm still in that funky ass energy. So once I use my hands, use my wit or whatever the case may be, and to scrape up enough money to get the goddamn print machine or whatever like that, boom, you got it. Now make something happen with that bitch. Make something happen with that bitch. And I go back out in the goddamn corner and go goddamn it, broadcast it and promote it with my wit, with my handwork, the mental construction or the physical construction. Even if you're a man and you're a construction worker, it's the same thing, same concept, bitch. You just know that the mind is more powerful and shit like that. You have a whole bunch of other people built the physical shit just because your mind was right. Whole different video, whole different live stream and shit like that. Then for the most part, boom, we take one business into another business. The way I'm out here, I might want to get in my looks a little bit. Did you make something for me to wear? Did it knit like this? Boom, I go out and I'll be up something like that, like a walking billboard. Then for the most part, once we get in business there, me being a spokesperson, put my hands, boots on the ground again, using my mind, guess what? Everything you made, I'm about to buy a walkway. I'm about to buy a runway. Guess what? We already got cameras and shit that we invested our money in real shit, not no bullshit out here. Guess who getting ready to walk the runway with all these new clothes and shit like that? You. I'm saying? Boom, we about to record this and shit like that. You about to have a commercial after it to tell everybody where to get scarves and nails done. After that, bitch, we in business. I don't hear nothing other than that. Everybody lost. Everybody lost. It ain't nobody serious. That's what it is. And everybody all over the place. And damn government shit relationships. And that's where it get funky. But for the most part, that's how it's going to play out in the third and the fourth house. Leo in the third house, you want to express something in your environment. Fourth house, you want to like compare and contrast. Can you do it privately or can you do it in your private sectors? Now, if you got Leo in the fourth house, you're going to be an individual who want to express, right? Something that's dealing with home, family, security. You might even get in real estate. You might want to help family members out and things of that nature when it comes to home, privacy, help somebody else emotionally, or however the case may be, and you want to be seen for that. You want attention for that. Now, you're going to analyze that and see if you could construct that and make it youthful or make it seem like it's something that could be broad for other individuals or make it some form of entertainment. You might want to make something that's a down moment for family or home or something like that, and you might want to be the one that start to worry about this is being too down and upbeat it, uplift it, worry about things being too down and stuff with the Virgo being in the fifth house. You know what I'm saying? So you might be in a situation where you're trying to analyze and work on making things more light, making things more youthful and shit like that for things that you're going to see first. Your fourth house, home, family, privacy, or emotional stability and things of that nature. So you're trying to be seen as that individual or want to get attention for setting the stage for something to be more youthful, light, creative, fun, enjoyment, or entertain something. There may be something even depressing or something that needs to be taken responsibility for because it's Virgo also. So it don't have to be a negative or positive situation, but just something simple, right? Regular responsibilities, regular anything, bills, however the case may be, right? And you may be the type of person during this particular time that want to get up and shout and put the focus on that, make people entertain that. Virgo, fifth house represents entertainment. Virgo being there, making people entertain what they're supposed to be worrying about, making people entertain something about a routine, a pattern, then people losing slack about something or whatever the case may be. You might even try to remind people that, you know, don't lose your childlike energy. It might even be in that type of energy and shit. You're starting to worry about is you losing your childlike energy and shit like that. So you might be in that type of vibration during this particular time. Now I want to get into the fifth house. The fifth house represent because Leo is stationary here anyway. So you probably got Aries in the first house. If you got duplicate overlapping houses, that's another story. But you know, it's still gonna have the same energy here. And then when it comes into the fifth house, then you're gonna be somebody who want to express what you've been entertaining. You know what I'm saying? So you want other people to focus on what you've been entertaining, whether it's something you're creative about or it's something that you just want other people to see because you've been entertaining it and it's something that probably helped you or it's something that's just dealing with an interest at the moment. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever the case may be, or whatever got you feeling light and youthful, or however the case. But you're going to start to look at it and start to do it as a routine or a pattern or on a time basis. And you're going to become very consistent. You think this is something that you need to start being consistent on. So it may even be some youthful energy that you haven't been participating in. Or some of your creative passions you wasn't participating in. That now, in that fifth house with Leo being there, you're also going to experience this new moon transiting over the sixth house. And it's going to make you feel like, all right, these are the things that I need to start putting in routine and pattern. I need to start doing every day. I need to start making it something I worry about. I need to start making it a routine. I need to make it part of my responsibilities or whatever the case may be. And it may be dealing with children, even if you don't have no children, your creative gifts and looking at them as children and stuff like that, or your fun and enjoyment energy, or the way you express yourself. You may even feel like you haven't been expressing yourself at the time that you had supposed to be, and shit like that. So it's that kind of energy also. Thank you so much for the cash app. Damn, I couldn't see the yeah. Let's say if you got Virgo in the 7th house. I mean, not Virgo in the 7th house. Well, yeah, Virgo, because you have Leo in the 6th house, right? You might be a person that, now try to not get too boastful if you in some type of condition where you the breadwinner over your family, friends, and associates and stuff like that, because you're going to have some unnecessary ego that's going to kick you in the ass in the future, a few days later and stuff like that. So check yourself if you're in a better position right now. But with Leo in the 6th house, you may feel like you need to overly boast the things you have for some sense of ego. And it could be sarcasm too. It could be something that you're not actually saying, but something you're expressing to make somebody realize, somebody you care about that you're around, to make them realize they may not be doing something right, without actually telling them they're not doing something right. And you might be expressing something that you have obtained and expressing it through the lens of hoping that this person would think whatever you're doing to get that thing that you're boasting about is making them compare and contrast. They're not doing something right in their life. And if you over exaggerate that and keep doing it, a person will start seeing that, whether you're really knowing how you're coming across or not. And it don't matter if you got good advice or not. You become like a charlatan to this person, and a person rather not listen to you even if you had good advice, because it comes with some other shit that they know they rather not have that energy with whatever the initial purpose of energy you was giving them, that may be disingenuous or something like that. You see what I'm saying? So spirits catch on to things like this, and this would make a spirit not accept things, which is good not to accept things for everybody. But then a lot of times, when something can make sense and you still see a person not accept it, a lot of times it's that spirit picking up that kind of quality and that energy, and knowing that, yeah, this little small percentage scale of this mental form I'm having to interact with, comparing it with this person or group with my own, may manifest into the 1, 2, and 3rd dimension as objects or things that develop as our shelter or eat, fucking, and sleeping quality that may be sufficient. But there's other things that may not have condensed physically yet, that a lot of things is piggybacking on the thing that is physical at the moment, person, place, or thing, scenario, or circumstance, that I could go ahead and make my decision. My spirit does not allow me to sign this contract like this. Or my spirit does not allow me to just release everything on my mind yet and play stupid in small areas and stuff. Like, your spirit is doing like protection thingies. You know what I'm saying? Don't ever second question your spirit and take the 3rd dimension and go too far into that shit, because it always bites you in your ass. Your spirit always be creating skunk fumes and stuff like that as the first layer of quality of protections and stuff. And sometimes y'all don't be knowing this what you're doing, and say, oh, I ain't protecting myself, and go through with something, and then now you in a situation you need assistance. You can't fully protect yourself. You see what I'm saying? So you got to be careful. You get all tricked up in the spiritual world. But with Leo being in the 5th house, and then transition into Virgo being in the 6th house, Leo being in the 6th house and Virgo transitioning into the 7th house, you may find yourself expressing or boasting what you have obtained, because you want to be seen in that, and it ain't gonna filter through nowhere else but you worrying about if you're not doing it around your relationships and people that you know, and even in business circumstances and stuff like that. So these is the people that you try to prove something to, that it may not even be nothing to prove, and things of that nature. So don't overdo it. But if you're a person that's just common and you with everybody else, you're just gonna feel the energy of, man, I need to express what I'm doing as a routine or a pattern. Or if you've been on a faulty side, you're going to start to see things that you need to start picking up again. Leo, attention, in your sixth house, new moon, aka getting out of the old things you're paying attention to and seeing these new things. And these are the new things you need to start doing 6th house things around that Leo energy, giving attention to this new energy that you're going to be feeling to express and visualize. That's in your 6th house. Something that 9 times out of 10 or 10 times out of 10, something that you're going to give this new attention to start thinking that this needs to be in a routine. This needs to be in a pattern. I need to start taking responsibility on this or whatever. Or if you're already doing these things, these are the things that you may be boasting about. And if you're not in no ego, These is the representations that you may express yourself to show people around you that they need to get like you, or whatever the case may be. And it's going to play out through your seventh house with Virgo there, having others or yourself analyze these actions through the lens of, is it fair, is it balanced, is it being relatable, or is it just being sarcastic and egotistic towards your relationships, or you manifesting others doing that in your life because of whatever that they got new going on. Get this motherfucker, see this little lamp. Attracting motherfuckers and shit. You know, you leave the doors open and shit like that, then you got a little transfer, so that's where I come from. This motherfucker shit. Now, but for the most part, here's the thing. Now, when you get into Leo being in the seventh house, you might be a person who want to boast about your relationships, your partner, who you connected with, if it's business-wise, or your siblings, or I got this family name. Who gives a fuck? And what you doing now? Is you being a good representation of it now, or you just boasting about what they did and you think something's supposed to be handed to you because you might be? You know what I'm saying? Whatever the case may be, or you just a degenerate version of the descendant of it or whatever. You know what I'm saying? So how you know they ain't already get what they were supposed to get already? So it might be that energy and shit like that. You might be, your family might own the business and some shit like that, and a few of your family died and they got what they were supposed to get for it. You know what I'm saying? Just probably other family members fucked the money up or some shit like that. Fuck something up and shit. And you expected something that they already done got. You just ain't get the trickle down system and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Like Beyonce was supposed to do for her people after she got all that money from Kamala Harris and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? She ain't do shit for. You know what I'm saying? She's struggling right now from city to city, state to state with Jay-Z and shit like that. God damn it. Is this a world tour or your girls tour? Why ain't y'all hit Jay-Z with that yet? Why ain't y'all hit Jay-Z with that? You know what I'm saying? Real shit like this. That's why I'm getting back in the game. Get back in the game and shit like that. Even though I'm doing a lot of meeting with people and stuff like that and things, and I gotta be back east too. And shit like that. So that'd be this week or whatever the case. But that goddamn and shit like that. Why ain't y'all? So I just been bumping and riding around with New Orleans and shit like that and things and setting up shit and building this fort and these fences and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Fucking with people, real people, and my family and stuff like that. I want to fuck with people online and shit like that too. You know what I'm saying? Just build up regular rapport and community and communionship and shit like that. But at the same time, you know what I'm saying? We all gotta know what we're going through. But yeah, back on topic. You know what I'm saying? When we start talking about Leo being in the seventh house, you gonna boast about your relationships or boast about your lack thereof. So you might be a person who projected right now, like a red pill, incel, or a feminist, and not knowing that these your problems, but here you go want to express. You set the stage. You want to be the Simba, Mufasa and shit like that, Scar, or the Happy Hyenas and shit like that off Lion King and shit. And I said all this kind of shit about your fucked up ass relationships, about how much you ain't got no balance in your life, about how much shit ain't fair. You know what I'm saying? Pardon me. How many business deals went nowhere and shit like that, like a wet napkin or some shit like that, and you was trying to put a baseball on it or whatever the case may be, or you couldn't talk yourself out of a wet paper bag or some shit like that. Your mother could suck a golf ball through a water hose. However the case may be. However the case may be. You know what I'm saying? You got muffler mouth lips and shit like that. However the case might be and shit like that. These are things you might be complaining about. And just the same way you want to pay for an Ozempic high, you want to pay for a sex doll or shit. You know what I'm saying? You want to pay for a woman that you can unplug every time she even want to say anything or whatever like that. You know what I'm saying? I say it might be time for dinner or something like that. As soon as she get ready to give an idea, you unplug her and shit. Then you go somewhere and think. You get online. What would a real pill think? You know what I'm saying? About women and supposed to be cooking and stuff. Then once you download with your retarded program and shit, you want to plug her back in and then be like, shh, yeah, cook this or whatever the case may be. Some bullshit. I said some bullshit. I don't want to hear all that shit right now. Goddamn, especially if you got Leo in the seventh house. Shut your ass up. And for the most part, you gonna have Virgo in the eighth house. Virgo gonna start coming out. And then you're going to start worrying about stuff that people don't see, stuff that people don't know and stuff like that. I think that you're going to try to overcompensate for something that nobody even know. Now you self-projecting and shit like that. You showing people your worry and shit. Now you're trying to hide through your relationships and shit and blame and victim shame others and shit like it wasn't your fault about something. You know what I'm saying? That something went wrong because of you, bitch. You stung your goddamn self. So that's how Virgo going to play out in the damn eighth house. So y'all have to be careful if you got this new energy. Don't be too much boasting about things that you don't have. But if you're in a good relationship or whatever, try not to boast too much about that. You're going to have people jealous and shit like that. And then you're going to be at work, and then whoever you was boasting about going to be at your crib. And then you ain't know that the person that you probably married to or your boyfriend or girlfriend and shit ain't really on the same page as you when it comes to the root chakra and the dick and pussy and shit like that. They might be on the same page as you, that y'all developing and sharing bills and shit and sharing the coffee table and shit and sharing the cable bill and shit like that. That might be one thing. But when you at work and shit like that, I'm saying that, and other things be other things and shit like that. I'm saying. And women know how to counterpartmentalize real good and shit like that. They might got 4 or 5 over here for that one thing, 4 or 5 over here for that other thing, 4 or 5 over here, and none of them cross paths and shit like that. None of them mixing mingle and shit like that. The men ain't got the guy good yet. You know what I'm saying? Really, men ain't supposed to be in that type of energy and shit like that. But that's for women to do, so they can still feel like they somebody in the park. You know what I'm saying? Playing a part and play the role or something. I'm saying real shit. But other than that, yeah, when we come to Virgo being in a damn 8th house, that's how it can play out. Now, if you got Leo in the 8th house, this might be something you try to express. You might be trying to express some things and stuff that nature that you might be all flunked out and stuff like that, and you don't want nobody to know it. So you create this synthetic energy, and it might be not even be something that other people think is flunked out. You know what I'm saying? There might be problems other people got, problems that people don't even look at as serious and things of that nature. So don't get into your Leo over-exaggerated mind having Leo in the 8th house. Don't do that. You know what I'm saying? The thing, because you might even tell on yourself in some way, shape, or form. You know what I'm saying? So you got prostate cancer or however the case it may be. You might tell on yourself because here you go expressing some things that you think you need to go deep. It's going to be in another area. You becoming an incel. You becoming a red pill, right? But the whole thing is going to be about, hey guys, you need to hang with your bros or whatever the case is. Here's the thing. The 9th house got Virgo there and shit like that. So people going to really be analyzing, and you try to analyze what you preaching and your wisdom and stuff. That's what you're going to start worrying and shit. And then really you just telling on yourself and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? It's hard for you to pee. I said that's the only thing that you telling yourself and shit like that. You trying to set the stage to get some sex voodoo doll or some shit like that. That hopefully she sound like she accept people with prostate cancer without you telling her you got prostate cancer or something like that. Or, you know what I'm saying? You got diabetes in the left kneecap. So you got goddamn state puff marshmallow man wet cotton ball knuckle caps or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So you ain't worth a damn and shit like that. If y'all stranded anywhere, you ain't worth a damn and shit like that. So you try to make people believe, try to create some psyop or something like that. And if you don't see nobody agreeing with that in a way that you ain't even actually saying that or something like that, this is how you became red pill. You know what I'm saying? This is how you shaming women you ain't even fucking. You know what I'm saying? That's how you shaming women you don't even know and shit like that. Women ain't even, surrounding, ain't even into what you into and shit like that. And you somehow think the world gonna change or whatever the case may be by some weird shit. Retardation. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta understand that right now. So don't be no red pill, no incel and shit like that. And you got goddamn Leo in the 8th house. Because that's the only thing you're gonna be self-projecting. You gonna sound like you talking down on females. You gonna sound like you talking down on, no, you express your lack thereof and shit. You stingy yourself. It's a square energy. Leo being expressive in a Scorpio house. You know what I'm saying? So everything you express to get attention going to be for all the wrong reasons. You're going to sting yourself and shit like that. And then you're going to be like, oh. So you're going to be getting attention for your vulnerability. You're going to have to spend time thinking about, this is what this person think about. This is what this person think about me and stuff like that. That person probably ain't even thinking shit about you and shit like that. Real shit. You know what I'm saying? You're going to have to think, you just analyze it real. You're going to become your own preacher, your own wise expansion person. You're going to travel everywhere in the astral world just to realize Virgo in your 9th house. You traveling and worry. You traveling in stress. You know what I'm saying? You in the state of being. The state, mental forms that you're being, your spirit being in that little pocket in time and shit like that. You just floating there. You probably paying rent. Every time you come up with another idea how to worry about them same worries, the same vindicator, your same yard, your same apartment building, your same mansion there. Some people got mansions there. Those are people in the 1, 2, and 3rd dimension. They don't do nothing else in life but worry. Them no family, friends, associates that you already know airplane mode on those certain days. You know what I'm saying? Don't disturb on those certain days and shit like that. You already know and shit like that. They live in that pocket of time. They're going to go to hell too and shit like that. Hopefully they got grace. They ain't know no better. Like they wasn't in on the cult. They just was born and the cult was ruling them. So they died stressed out about all them damn bills and shit like that. That wasn't nobody's fault but theirs. But at the same time, they had that grace. So they're going to go in some new nature and come back and then know better or whatever like that, no matter how long it takes. But they stuck in that pocket of time. Someone who always worrying, their mind already there. You ain't got to worry about where they going. You already know where they coming from. Before they even open their mouth, you already knew what they was into last week. You know what I'm saying? Yesterday, so you already know where they coming from. You ain't got to worry about where they going. You don't want to go there either and shit like that. You could stay a little close to God. Stay a little close with me. You know what I'm saying? Real shit. Real shit. It'll stuck in his pocket of time now. Don't get stuck in the sky somewhere at rush hour. Chris Tucker, Aries ass, in conjunction, Virgo ass. in conjunction Aries as Jackie Chan, but it's just the hours dealing with 4 p.m. and everybody getting off work and people getting out of school and shit, and it's a rush hour and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. bitch. So goddamn 6th house Virgo in the sky. Mama Bear. Grandma, are you okay? Oh, shit. Take care of all the women on earth. You know what I'm saying? They micro versions of Grandma. Other than that, like I said now, well, let's say if you got Leo in the 10th house, the 9th house, you just became a preacher. You just became a teacher. You know what I'm saying? Even though if you just got out the halfway house, you want to teach everybody else how to go to the halfway house. You're going to be a teacher in some way, shape, or form. You know what I'm saying? And things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? And you're going to be over expressive. Don't get boastful, though, because you could be a person that's expressing too much floatness, retardation, and things of that nature. So be careful. But for the most part, you're going to have Virgo in the 10th house. So you're going to worry how to make $1 out of it. You're going to worry about that. You're going to take everything you preach and figure out how you can make money and become Joel Osteen, Jeffrey Epstein, goddammit, Creflo Dollar, TD Jakes, or some Hebrew Israelite or some goddamn shit, or some nation of Israel. You're going to figure out some way to scam. And with Muhammad and them and shit like that. You're going to figure out some way. And Isaac and all these cats and shit. You know what I'm saying? Josephus and this cat. You know what I'm saying? That nigga Ham. So all that damn shit. I said nigga Ham and Cam and shit. I don't know better than that. The Street Fighter. I said he'll fight Ham. Brazil. I said where we going? He'll fight Sagat. Egypt. Listen. Stop colonizing. No better than that. Oh, no wonder Gal on the front. Gal on the front of Street Fighter. As soon as you play Street Fighter, you go everywhere else and colonize. And no better than that. I love y'all, man. I love everybody. Group hug. But yeah, goddamn it, we talk about Leo, right? Being in the damn 9th house, you're gonna be some extreme preacher or some extreme failure, and that's what you want to teach or something like that. So you at the bus station want to tell everybody how to live peacefully up under the bus station and shit like that, up under the damn bridge roof. Oh, some shit like that. So be careful. And then you're gonna have goddamn it, Virgo in the 9th house. You're gonna figure out how to have a cup real fast in front of there and have that guitar, that banjovi that you don't know how to play. I'm saying shit like he's gonna have it up there like, look, y'all, I got the ornament. I worked hard for the ornament. My ancestors had this instrument and shit like that. So just you ain't played it yet and did no sounds yet to even deserve it. I said, so please don't be on that end. But if you're a person that's on the right end, you got something to talk about, you got something to boast about, it sounds like it's wise or whatever, Leo in the goddamn 9th house and you your new self. Construct that with Virgo in the 10th house. Shit, I might give you $1 or $2 for real. So that shit might look like it makes sense. It might sound good and shit like that. It might be something I want to emanate, not imitate, emanate, transform it into my snowflake, and then goddamn it, play my part. So goddamn it, if we got different snowflakes, at least we are even and we can match it together and shit. Or I ain't shit. That's how everybody got to be. Everybody got to play their role. And if you part of a righteous role and good people on the beauty path, then you know that we all special and we all got a talent and shit like that. Ain't nobody lesser than nobody in this motherfucker shit. Unless you playing narratives and you playing that weak ass 4D game that really is outdated, man. That Monopoly be taking forever and shit like that. You'll realize you'll never win. And the whole purpose is who go broke first. Everybody just middle class or low class. That's where you really start to realize and shit like that. Monopoly teach y'all that really everybody gonna be middle class and low class. And if you a little higher than that, you being used for something and you ain't that. Once they tired of using your ass, you will get recommended a lawyer and shit like that. They convince you that is a good lawyer, but it's really you giving all your money back to them. They will convince you, hey, stay in this area. This is the safest area that we making the most money on property taxes and stuff like that, and the mortgage that you go out to pay that we get this money. I'll sell it on it. And if you got any type of idea that you look like you want to go have your own little fence and fort that remind them of, or you trying to be like them damn Native Americans or whatever the case may be and shit like that, you ain't probably got to worry about living and shit like that. You end up somewhere in a tree, just like Michael Jackson, next to a koala bear. So at some point, you gotta know there's only a few routes they give you and shit. It's only a handful of routes they give you and shit. You want to play Monopoly all day and shit like that. Y'all started Monopoly when y'all was 7 years old and shit like that. When y'all got out of elementary before Dragon Ball Z came on and shit like that. Y'all about 92 years old and shit like that. Every time y'all reached a decade, they upped the decade of retirement and shit like that. And you start to realize, damn, we old as fuck. I got arthritis in my left wrist. Shit, y'all, your hand is next to a Monopoly board still and shit. Y'all in the damn lobby and shit. Nursing home might as well be jail. That's that shit. God damn, I feel for y'all. We need territory. Real shit. So all the old people don't got to deal with that. You know what I'm saying? And you around life, a whole bunch of kids, when we out and about putting our boots and goddamn female Wakayans and shit like that on the ground. You know what I'm saying? Well, moccasins, my bad. Wakan moccasins. You know what I'm saying? Men put his goddamn boots on the ground. Females put their Wakan goddamn moccasins on the damn ground and shit like that. Then we'll come back and get them damn kids. You know what I'm saying? Real shit. Them kids getting all kind of knowledge and shit. Old spirits and young bodies and shit like that. Getting all kind of the knowledge. Getting the in-between knowledge and the elders' knowledge and shit like that. God damn it. That's how everybody becomes sufficient. It's unfortunately that we on a land that a lot of our cultures don't get supported. But even when we around these elders, like our parents, aunties, uncles, grandparents and stuff like that, and even if they got a corner store or they don't, we know that, you know, we go in life and there's some gems that they gave us, and our great aunties and great uncles and grandparents that they gave us that we still use way more than a percentage scale of the shit that we learned in school, and we only took 5% of that we use every day, such as damn math and English, pieces of science. Damn, we arguing over that right now. Let's not even get into history. That's just being institutionalized. Getting A's don't even mean nothing. You ain't learned shit learning about history and shit like that. And you was just there to get an A and get your mind constructed in a way that you think a certain way. You know what I'm saying? Before you get ready to go to college and get institutionalized. You know what I'm saying? Pardon me, y'all. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, boom. When we get into, goddammit, Leo being in the 10th house, you might be some type of person that want to express your status about something, even if it's flunkety. You know what I'm saying? Hey, well, at least, hey, if they talk down on Jesus Christ, so what? You ain't Jesus. You ain't in Palestine and shit. And whatever they saying to you is warranted. You need to have some shade thrown on that weak ass, this little light of mine. I said, real shit. That's probably somebody else's light. Give it back. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Real shit. The hell with your damn status. What you known for, how you seen, and what ultimately can become your career or your popularity. Or your gossip. You got bad gossip. Somebody talking about you in a light that no one wants to be in that position. Not no good gossip. People talking about you because it's some shit that everybody want to be in or whatever the case may be. That's good business right there. Good face card and shit like that. Good 10th house qualities. You know what I'm saying? Saturnalia. It shows Saturnalian. It shows, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Just like Night Wolf. So it shows animality. It shows Saturnalian. And it shows, oh, put on that. The hell with melanin. It's your Saturnalian. And it says, oh, put on that. Well, it's your Saturnalian. It's your Saturnalian. You got to look inside you. You might be, I'm a PhD. Hey, you on your way. You might can make it to the top. You might could die with a status that don't mean shit. You know, you didn't let your goddamn arthritis chakra that made your kneecaps and shit like that in your 10th house go to your head where it don't belong and replace the sun being exalted there and became the Saturn sun, and you ain't yourself in your mind. You that I'm in the military. You know what I'm saying? I'm a PhD. I'm a feminist. I'm an incel, and that's it. And you want to be known for that. You want to be a charlatan and shit like that. I'm a Christian. Well, I say real shit. That's your people. No. So if you got goddamn Leo in the 10th house, if you're on the wrong side of energy, that's what it's going to happen to you. Now, if you're on the right side of energy, I like what you're saying. Sound like some qualities I want to add. Pardon me, to my business. To my status. I might be tired of being put in a bad light. Whatever you expressing with that Leo in the 10th house that I'm giving attention to, that's about business, stability, security, how to maintain that status and things of that nature. I'm listening, I'm looking, and I'm waiting for you to release a book or something like that and things like that. You know what I'm saying? Real shit. Then you got Virgo in the damn 11th house. If you express that new self and shit, and then you're going to be able to associate yourself with the right things once you worry about it enough, and don't analyze it to the point it's negative worry, and it's the right worry that could construct into a situation that you harvest before harvest season, that now you don't have to worry. That uncomfortability that now it could develop as comfort, that unfamiliarity that now can develop as familiarity, and that's going below the horizon, and that all of that being the same aspect, the mother or the Lilith that's running the fall and winter, and the father that rules the spring and the summer, whole group of collection of houses from the first to the sixth house. And then for the most part, you could be in a situation where you start to cultivate that, worry about the right things, and be able to produce some material off of it that you don't have to worry anymore in some way, shape, or form. If you analyze it right, analyze your associations, which you are associated with, how you conduct yourself in a public arena, and keep it sufficient, keep it Virgo-like, worry about the things in the right, worry about the right things, and the things that you was worrying about that was wrong, disassociate with those things. And then whatever you're expressing in the 10th house with that Leo energy that you're getting attention for won't be something that someone need to hit you upside the head with a water bottle and say, get the fuck off stage. Might be some shit like, hey, hell yeah, shit, throw some flowers up there. Shit, like, I might lose my wings and shit like that because I had a good time. You know what I'm saying? Or whatever the case may be. So for the most part, boom, that's if you have it and you expressing your new self. You're gonna be a new person if you acting this energy right and you ain't playing backup. If you're a person who don't believe in this, it's because you playing catch up. It's stuff that you have to believe in that by default is shit you don't like, and it's shit that you have to do to distract you from developing that energy of feeling this new energy and expressing these new business qualities. You somewhere saying this ain't real and having to go against some attack you getting because somebody throwing shade on your light, or you're more distracted on throwing shade on somebody else's business in some way, shape, or form, man. Shit, you or the other individual. Burger King or McDonald's don't make no money out of that and shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Y'all could have rocked everybody to sleep with the new chicken sandwich first, then start competing. You know what I'm saying? And the hell with them anyway. You know what I'm saying? I'm just using those as an example, not promoting these motherfuckers and shit. Now, for the most part, here's the thing. You know what I'm saying? Get you some women who know how to cook, and y'all start getting rich like that. If you got Leo in the 11th house, right, this is going to put you into a situation where you might start to be expressive based upon what you are associated with. If you're the rotten apple out of it, please don't do it. You're going to make everybody in that system look bad. You're going to make everybody you're around look corrupted. You're going to make everybody feel like they're guilty by association and disassociate you. You know what I'm saying? They might goddamn black sheep you and get your ass away from shit. So be careful if you ain't, because you know Leo is opposite position in the 11th house. It's 180 degrees away from where it's actually supposed to be in your houses. So you see things through opposite lenses and things of that nature. And you may have Libra ascendant. So a lot of times you may piggyback on the efforts of other individuals based upon the pockets that you may supposed to be developing your own energy in. And it's a gift and a curse. You may also have the good wit or your position in life by having opposite houses in general, where it allows you to be in positions that other people not in, also that have to do a lot of things on their own and figure out that value of it. But then it's a gift and a curse. You're also going to be on the end of, it's going to be those times that people have to tell you need to pick up the slack or separate a person, place, or thing from you to realize there's layers you need to develop on your own, and you cannot no longer use those as an assistance or blend in with it, submerge and assemble with it, and you could be the representation of it, even if you're the smallest representation or smallest percentage scale of the effort put in on it, and things of that nature. And a lot of times, people who have opposite houses also have a gift of being able to get away with that. It's like you automatically a favoritism energy, but if you don't understand that limbo in your comfort zones, you reach the extremity also that a person will be able to deal with, already developing those layers of having to do things on their own, and then stumble over figuring out who to align with or not, and not reacting as harshly when they make mistakes. One harsh move from you want to end it all, especially if you spoil. One thing that just a little effort would make it better. You feel like you want to slit your wrist or some goddamn shit. You know what I'm saying? Or some damn shit. It ain't that deep. Chill. You know what I'm saying? You spoiled somewhere in the mind, or in a lot of cases physically, when people get born in certain suburbs sometimes. You know what I'm saying? But everything ain't physical. You could be spoiled in the mind. You could be somebody born in the hood around gangbangers, and that favoritism play out. And say you got Leo ascendant. It might be a new person come to the hood. Here you go, going over extreme, being threatening, and you got people speaking for you, and you ain't even put in as much work. But whoever put in as much work to represent the whole name and the gang that you represent, you able to get away with Because of something else, though. You probably got the most boxes of cereal on top of the refrigerator and shit because your mother got a good job or something like that. So it's like other areas that the Leo play out quality, but it will be a time that when everybody jumps somebody else in, somebody gonna be there to realize you ain't even doing everything, whatever the case may be. So this illusion I was saying that you was using, you was speaking for, and shit like that, and other people was saying, yeah, that's the homie, or yeah, that's the homegirl. Man, that was all off idol worship, thought processes, and shit like that. And you might got somebody who was putting in all the work, just playing favoritism to you because every time they come to your crib in the morning, they eating a box of cereal or something like that, or some good oatmeal cream pies and you know what I'm saying, glazed honey donuts and shit like, oh, Sarah, shit like something your parents got or some shit. Like some old other thing that the legal quality play in that a person don't know your personal life, your first house yet, and that Libra energy, when they start to associate with you in 11th house and shit like that, you get blinded and shit like, you get blinded by all that. Like, oh, this is the hardest person in the gang knowing. Right? So that's what I'm saying. When they get to that 11th house, be careful. When you got Leo there, be careful, bitch. Be careful. Don't be too much. Don't speak for something too much. You could be the rotten apple. Then when it's time for to hit the fan, and it's time for you to put your goddamn moccasins on the ground or your goddamn boots on the ground and shit like that, shit, you might can't back up shit. Then the person you saying, oh, I got to call a big homie. Oh, no, I got to call my business. Oh, I got to call. Oh, no, it's Jesus Christ. You know what I'm saying? Oh, no, that's different. No, you can't be Reg on Friday right now. No, I said, nah. There ain't nothing different. Nah. You know what I'm saying? Real shit, ain't nothing different. Get your ass together. Leo was fucked out in that damn 11th house. Understand that. So just learn how to play your part. You know, you ain't goddamn Bobby Womack or Otis Williams all the time. You know what I'm saying? Real shit. The Temptations. Somebody you might have got in good because you was the foreigner. So, you know, the Jew or the Jesuit was probably be like, we're gonna make sure all the money go through him and stuff because he went to the HBCU or something like that. I know, but just know that before you go speaking for everybody in the Temptations and shit, you can't sing like that, Otis. You know that. I was like, wait till Blue come. Wait till David Ruffin come and shit like that. I'm saying, real shit. I wait till these cats come and shit like that. And just chill out and shit like that. And the other homeboy and shit. And wait before you come speaking for everything. And you got this. You the only one who could be the spokesperson with the bucket hat man and shit like that. Because you went to the HBCU and shit like that. And your father was in the military. And your mother was a college teacher. Or some shit like that, or she's some damn preacher or some goddamn shit. You know what I'm saying? When they started first the feminist psyop, let's make women the matriarch over here and things of that nature. Make all the women don't need men no more. That was the early stages of it. Make women preachers and make women politicians and shit. And that the early stages of feminism. I'm saying shit. I know what I'm talking about. So I know somebody stuck in a pocket of time and it's just a different form going on right now. Kamala Harris. I know what I'm talking about. I know what I be talking about. La. Ain't she a Libra? Let's go Libras and said. All right, now they goddamn it. You got Leo, and the goddamn it 12th house. You might be somebody who expressing your dreams, imaginations, and your fantasies and stuff like that. Make sure it's something to believe in. Make sure it ain't no false belief. Remember, we got two attributes to all these things. So when it comes to that Neptunian 12th house energy and stuff like that, right? You got dreams and imagination. But we got two routes. You know what I'm saying? One person dreams and imaginations could be delusions. One person dreams and imaginations could be creativity. Let's go back to that first point. We both start going in that 4th, 5th, 6th dimension, make an imagination, right? So one person dream and imagination at the beach, right? They break it down. They got a whole new rap bar I ain't never heard before. Whole new business plan I ain't never heard before. Whole new way to do that design we ain't never heard before, shit like that. And then when we ask them, they can be like, I got it from the holy water. We don't know no other representation. I'm going to believe what they saying, though, because I ain't talented like that, so what the fuck? You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm going to sit there and hate on them and challenge them if I had small dick energy or something, or shrivel, malum, blisky, titty energy or something. You know what I'm saying? So, you know what I'm saying? They're creative with their dream and imagination. Then we're going to ask somebody in the other one. Dream and imagination. Pull it down. Straight delusion. Flunked out. False faith and belief and shit like that. You ask them where they was at. They ain't got no rap bar. But they get ready to tell us they just seen Jesus. And Jesus get ready to come back and end colonization and shit like that. I sound some retarded shit. I said, get your funky ass out of here. Don't go in front of that, bro. I don't want to hear it, dude. I don't want to hear it, dude. Shut up, dude. So for the most part, y'all go to the 12th house. So Virgo will transit into the damn first house. You might worry about, are you the right representation for these dreams and imaginations? I'm gonna tell you no. Not if you're the delusion. Personally, first house, Virgo being there, start worrying about a straitjacket. You know, I want to see you in that. I want that to be the first impression if I don't know you. I want to see you in a straitjacket. I said, Rush, you start worrying about them things. Start analyzing that. Start get on Amazon, eBay. Start seeing the prices of these things and stuff like that. Make sure you get a good one too. The real good, tight, laced up Michael Jackson zipper one. I said, Rush, yeah, you for the ones you need help with after you already zipped in. Go get a family, friend, associate. I jump through the damn phone screen and shit like that. I help you zip the ones in the backup around your arthritis, right shoulder blade. And shit. I said, real shit, I help you. Anything to help civilians, to help the world and shit like that. You start worrying about that. Start analyzing that. Start wanting to be seen that way and stuff like that. That's the best way to take care of your goddamn problems. Keeping your hands to yourself and your mind. Said we might need to emanate that one movie again. What's the box? Yeah, the box. What's his homeboy name? Jack? I forgot his name. The box. And put you in a straitjacket and a box. And you just go ahead and live in your mind and shit like that. Real shit. About 95 to 92% of the damn education teachers at this moment. About 85% of the people in politics right now. Things of that nature. About damn 70% of people firemen. Shit, about 99% of us online right now. Sure. I said, what else? What else we want to count? We want to count. Because the moment, goddammit, Jay-Z said men lie, women lie, goddamn numbers don't. Moment we know numbers started lying and shit like that. So shit, we in infinite regresses. We in infinities and shit. We still thinking to this day. I know y'all still be having 2,000-year-old arguments. You ain't about to tell me if I get online right now and type in religious debates, I ain't about to see a 2,000-year-old argument. I don't care what you talking about. A lot of y'all arguments is longer than the damn Gregorian calendar. A lot of y'all arguments longer than America being established over here, taking it away from us Native Americans. You know what I'm saying? Real shit. So a lot of y'all just been lostness through the cycles of time as we at the end of the cycle of the houses. Worry about that straitjacket. I said, worry about that straitjacket. I said, 12th house, all those dreams and stuff you get ready to express and set the stage, hopefully it's creative, not no false faith and belief. If it's creative, use that first house to start to worry about, how can I be this? How can I express it? How can I show it? You know what I'm saying? This is what I need to worry about. And people need to see these dreams that I got in reality. What personal person I know? Who can I share my personal space with that their spirit in that same personal space, that in the mental world, we got that same common 12th house interest. You know what I'm saying? What can I do to solidify that? Virgo energy itself. Boom. Do I have a job or do I got something I'm working towards that I could take percentage scales of the money to add to that? And get piece by piece until I got all the equipment, even if it's a studio. You know what I'm saying? Everything don't have to be in one. Boom. What do I got? Do I got my 1, 2? Do I got a job? Boom. Get piece by piece. I get this cord this time. Next time, get this microphone. Next time, get the headphone. Next time, get the mother engineer board. Next time, get the drum machine. Whatever you need. Or whatever the case may be. In time, it shall be. And if you keep your mind in that, it'll be a starting original point that it looked like it's a possibility because you're not throwing a rock too far at a star that we ain't talking about a satellite. So it'll be an infinite one that you'll waste your time, put too much on your plate, which is supposed to be just fish there, right? Now look, for the most part, and here's the thing. If you stay rooted on that and that plan, by the time you get to the third thing, it'll be a person, place, or thing or scenario you run into that speed up the process that'll accumulate it. And then it'll be a situation like, okay, I got this cord, I got this headphone. Before you even on a path like, okay, just how I got that is how I'm gonna get the mic. It'll be something that you meet a person, place, or thing that need the headphone and a mic there. Or it might be a situation where it'll play out in so many ways where it's because you took one step, God start taking another one. And it filtered through people, places, and things in your motherfucking life. And we're all doing that with each other. That person you just met or group of people, they're in the same situation. Taking one step and God is taking another. And if we all in the same spiritual space with that relatable and synchronizing energy, right? That means you're amongst other people taking one step And we can only be in a place of Yehovah, so we can all experience that other step being taken. And that other step is Yehovah, that bridge, that center, that thing we can all agree with, that generative principle, that thing we should call God, that when we play that out as multiple people up under that culture and hopefully into this territory and things of that nature, we'll really see God's face in the motherfucking sky and shit, because we making God happy. And I love all y'all from the bottom of my heart. Real shit. And see a lot of y'all in person and shit like that on the goddamn road. Flight boss, bitch, you know. For sure. You're not listening to the Mind of Military's Moon. I'm the Royal Archangel Uriel. And I'm here to carry out God duties and motherfucking responsibilities. It'll go to front of that, it'll go to front of that. That's it.